Okay, you're back in the gym. It's your New Year's resolution. You're getting back into shape, and you get that first day, that second day of working out, and you wake up the next morning, and oh my gosh, the low back pain is amazing. And you think to yourself, what is happening? Today, we're going to delve into why you have that pain from the working out, if working out is supposed to be so good for you. Today, we're going to get right into unlocking the secrets to a pain-free workout, and more specifically, the 3 reasons you have lower back pain after a workout. So let's begin with the aging spine. In other words, the culprit in disguise. So we go and we work out really difficult, really hard workouts. And so the key here is that we want to make our muscles as strong as we can. The problem is sometimes we get a little impatient and we get a little overzealous with that. And I'm going to get into that in the second half of this part of the film. But more importantly, what is happening is that when you look at the spine, the older you are, the more compression was on the spine, which can cause the disc that's in between your vertebrae to get crunched and dry out, and in some cases pinch nerves. But there are things that we do every day that can contribute to that happening much faster. And so the things like sitting a lot, if you're going to working out with your quads, working out with your inner thighs, working out with your hips. When you work with those muscles and you make them tighter, which working out will do that, what happens is that it tilts the pelvis forward and that increases the compression on the lower part of the back. Now, it also will increase it as it gets a little bit higher because as that pelvis tilts forward, the whole torso tilts forward as well. And now the weight of your head, which is on top of your shoulders, keep in mind that weighs 10 to 12 pounds. And every inch that head leans forward, you're adding 10 more pounds of pressure to the upper part of the spine. The more that pelvis tilts forward, now you're increasing the full length of your spine, the compression on the spine itself. So the key to it is really being able to understand how to stretch out your quads, which are the front of your thighs, your inner thighs, and of course your calves. And you know me, I always talk about the calves because when the calves are tight, and we'll do calf or heel raises, I guess, or calf strengthening exercises in the gym, as they get tight, it forces us to walk more powered by the quads themselves because the ankles just can't bend because the calf muscles are too tight. And so all of that seems to trickle up, and that affects the spine itself. So the thing is that when people get into doing these exercises, it's about not really overdoing it, but more about how to strengthen correctly so that you can make that happen. So it's one of the key things that you'll hear most trainers talk about, PTs will talk about it as well, is core strengthening. Having the muscles in your abdominal area and your low back stronger, that can help support that spine is an important thing, because if you look at the skeletal system itself and the stomach area here, from the bottom of your rib cage to your pelvis, there's really no bones there except for the spine. And so when the muscles in the abdominal area are weak, then the rib cage itself will tend to tilt forward, bringing the head more forward, which again applies more pressure. So doing things like planks or bridges are a good thing to do. Now, when you're strengthening the lower body, yes, it will tighten those muscles, and yes, it will tilt the pelvis forward. You want to make sure that every day you come back and you stretch your quads, and that you stretch the inner thighs, and that you stretch your calf muscles. And if you watched my videos before, you've seen some of these, and I'll certainly put some links in the description that you can follow those stretches and make it happen. For instance, a quad stretch. Most people, when you see them do a quad stretch, for instance, they'll stand on one foot, they'll pull their heel up to their hip, and they think they're stretching their quads. And they are to some degree, but here's the catch here. When you stand on one foot and you pull your heel up to your hip, on the quadriceps, what you're basically stretching is from the knee halfway up the quad itself, or the front of your thighs. The problem with that is that what's causing your back pain is actually the upper end, which comes from the hips up here, halfway down. So you're not really stretching that upper part of that quad, and the best way to do that is laying on your side. And again, I'll have a link in the description about that. So when you do exercises like the planks, for instance, you're going to tighten the muscles in the abdominal muscles. You'll tighten some of the muscles in the hip as well, and you want to use a tennis ball there against the wall to be able to soften that. And again, I'll put that link down below too. But we'll show you some little insets here of those types of stretches. So as you do that and you start to free the lower body, increase the strength in the abdominal region and even in the lower back, now what happens is that you have the strength and the flexibility to make that happen. If you just go do the strengthening, you're going to have lower back pain with no problems or no questions about it. The other thing is overworking out. Now, you may be 45, 55, 65 years old. Do not go to the gym and think that you're going to pick up working out where you did in high school, because that's not going to work for you. That's an easiest case for an injury. I just saw a man in my gym the other day, late 60s, early 70s, and he was trying to do a tricep press. Now, tricep press is you'll take a dumbbell, which is the smaller weights here, up over your head, and you're pushing straight up so that you can strengthen the muscles here on the backside of the arm. This guy was not a big guy. He was not a big muscular guy, but he reaches over and grabs a 40-pound dumbbell, which is about twice what he needed to lift up. Well, by the time he lifted that weight up over his head, the weight started carrying his body back on the workout bench, and next thing I saw, his feet were up in the air, and he's fighting to get back down. This is a case in point of a guy who's not going to strengthen his triceps. He's going to injure either his abdominal muscles or he's going to injure a back muscle. That's going to cause him massive pain, and chances are he'll quit working out and say it didn't really work for him. But when you're working out as you get older, use less weight, but increase your repetitions, because your goal here is not to get big and bulky to compete in the Mr. Olympia championships, but your goal here is to be strong enough to be able to do the things in your life that you want to be able to do. Doesn't take a ton of weight to do that. Typically 20 to 25 pound weights is about what most men would ever need to lift. Women are somewhere between 15 to 20 pounds. And if you can do that, you can keep your body well trained and running really well. The other part of it is also keep your flexibility. So there's what's called a balanced training and rest area. When you're training and working out, you want to take days off in between your workout sessions so that you can heal the micro tears in your muscles. Now, when you're stretching and doing it correctly, you can stretch every day because you're not creating those micro tears. You're just releasing the tension in the muscles itself. The food you eat is very important. If you have a high inflammatory diet, that's going to affect the joints in your body, the spine in your body, and it's going to cause inflammation, which will slow down your progress as well. And then finally, sleep is ultra important, because sleep is when you repair your body. And so everybody needs to get a good 7-8 hours of sleep every night. There's a few things you can do with that. Don't eat 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Make sure that the temperature is low in your house while you're sleeping. Block out all light. Have no TVs in your bedroom. Block out all light. And if you need to, put in blackout curtains to block out the lights from the outside, because those lights can affect your ability to sleep much better. There are other outside lifestyle factors and things that you can do that can help yourself. So for me, it's like when I'm living my life, if I go into a building, I'm going to take stairs if possible versus the elevator. If I have to take escalators, I'm going to walk up the escalators as if they were stairs. It gets me there faster, and I get some exercise into it. Lastly, if I'm parking in a shopping mall, I'll choose to park my car further away, which makes me walk further, gives me more exercise to get into the store. So the key to this is to take a more holistic approach to wellness itself. There are many things that you can do to improve your health, improve your life. You just have to make the decision to do that. And I realize for most of you, most people don't talk about those things. They've got you going to the gym, they got you doing this, they got you doing that, and all those things are great. But there are many things you can do on your own every day that can help you improve your health and do a much better job in being the person that you want to be. And for now, hope this helps you. See ya. Hey, if you enjoyed that video, please check out the next video to it. It's a great addition to what you just learned. And don't forget to subscribe. See ya.